What if I told you that drinking more water and taking collagen after 50 might be doing almost nothing for your skin? Not because the products are wrong, but because your body can no longer deliver them where they matter most. Today I want to show you the missing biological link that determines whether your skin ages faster or quietly begins to restore itself again. Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever stood in front of the mirror in the morning and thought, I'm doing everything right, so why does my skin still look tired, thin, or dry? Many of the women I speak with say the same thing. They hydrate, they use good skincare, they even take collagen supplements faithfully, and yet their skin seems to ignore all of it. Here's the uncomfortable truth most people never explain. After 50, especially after menopause, the issue is rarely a lack of nutrients. It's a lack of delivery. Skin does not age simply because time passes. It ages because blood flow, the system that carries oxygen, collagen, and repair signals, quietly slows down. In this video, we're not going to chase miracles or quick fixes. Instead, I'll help you understand why your skin feels different now, and more importantly, how supporting your body's circulation can change the way your skin looks, feels, and heals from the inside out. If you are a woman over the age of 50, especially over 60, I want you to pause for a moment and truly listen to this. Not with fear, not with pressure to fix yourself. Just listen. The way you would listen to a familiar story, but this time from a different perspective. Have you ever wondered, why do I drink so much water every day, yet my skin still feels dry? Why do I eat well, take collagen faithfully, and still my face looks tired, sagging? Or even, why am I doing almost everything right, but my skin just isn't responding? If you've ever had those thoughts, I want you to know something very important right away. You have not failed, and you are not doing anything wrong. I've worked with women in their 50s, 60s, and even 70s for more than 3 decades, and there is one sentence I hear over and over again, spoken softly, but with a very real sense of sadness underneath. Doctor, I take better care of myself than ever, yet I seem to be aging faster. One of my patients, Susan, age 63, once sat across from me and said, I never forget my water bottle. I drink my 8 glasses a day. I take collagen. I use my creams, but every morning when I look in the mirror, my skin looks thinner, drier, like it no longer holds life the way it used to. I remember that moment clearly, not because of the complaint, but because of her eyes. It wasn't vanity, it was confusion, as if her body had started speaking a new language, and no one had taught her how to understand it. And I told her something that I want to share with you today as well. The problem isn't how much water you're drinking. The problem is whether your body can still deliver that water and those precious nutrients to your skin. You see, most of us grew up with a very simple belief. Drink more water and your skin will look better. That belief is true when you're younger. After the age of 50, especially after menopause, the female body changes in a very quiet way. Not dramatic, not painful, but profound. One of the biggest changes, and one that almost no one talks about, is microcirculation. The tiny blood flow that carries oxygen, collagen, and hyaluronic acid to your skin cells begins to slow down. And when that flow slows, it doesn't matter how much water you drink or how much collagen you take. Those nutrients simply don't reach where they're needed. Let me ask you to imagine this. You have a beautiful garden. You water it every single day, but the small irrigation pipes underneath the soil have narrowed with time. Water is still flowing, but it never reaches the roots. So you stand there wondering, why is my garden still wilting, even though I'm taking such good care of it? Your skin after 50 works the same way. Scientifically, those pipes are controlled by a tiny but powerful molecule called nitric oxide. Its job is to signal blood vessels to open and relax, allowing blood to carry oxygen and nutrients to the skin. Here's the problem. After menopause, Nitric oxide levels in women can drop by 50 to 60%. Not because you're unhealthy, not because you didn't try hard enough, but because estrogen, the hormone that helps maintain nitric oxide, naturally declines. When nitric oxide falls, the tiny capillaries under the skin tighten. Less blood reaches the face. Collagen is not delivered efficiently, and fibroblasts, the cells responsible for producing collagen, begin to fall asleep. Not because they are weak, but because they are no longer receiving the signal to work. And slowly, the skin begins to change. It becomes thinner. It loses firmness. Wrinkles last longer after sleep. Makeup no longer sits the same way. And it can feel as if your face is quietly deflating year by year. Have you ever felt that? What I want you to understand right at the beginning of this video is this. This is not your fault. And this is not the end of the story. Because once you realize the issue is not drinking more water, but learning how to turn that water into living circulation, everything changes. Skincare after 50 is no longer about buying more products or pushing yourself harder. It becomes about working with your biology instead of fighting against it. In the next part of this video, I'm going to share how one very small change, something you add to your daily glass of water, can help awaken circulation, allow collagen to finally reach the skin, and most importantly, help your skin feel nourished from the inside, not just moisturized on the surface. But before we continue, I want you to pause for just one moment and ask yourself, is it time to stop blaming myself and start listening to my body in a new way? If your answer is yes, then you are exactly where you need to be. Now that we understand why drinking more water is no longer enough after the age of 50, the next and most important question becomes, what is actually happening inside your skin? I want you to stop thinking of skin as a surface and begin thinking of it as a living organ, one that depends entirely on blood flow to survive. Skin does not create collagen out of thin air. It does not hold water simply because you drink more. Skin lives because blood delivers oxygen, amino acids, minerals, and biological signals to every single cell. And here is a truth that very few women are ever prepared to hear. After menopause, a woman's body loses 50 to 60% of its nitric oxide, a tiny molecule, yet the master switch that controls whether your capillaries open or close. When nitric oxide drops, the tiny blood vessels beneath the skin begin to tighten quietly. There is no pain, no obvious warning signs, but the consequences build slowly, day after day. This is why so many women tell me, "Doctor, I drink plenty of water, but my skin still feels dry." The problem is not that water isn't entering your body. The problem is that water is no longer reaching your skin tissue. That constant feeling of chronically thirsty skin after 50 is not a sign that you need to drink more water. It is a sign that your biological delivery system has slowed down. The water is in your bloodstream, but the blood is no longer traveling far enough to nourish the skin. One patient once said something that stayed with me. "My skin feels like dry land in a drought, even though it's raining." And she was absolutely right. When circulation weakens, collagen, whether you drink it or apply it, cannot reach the skin on its own. Collagen only arrives when blood carries it to the fibroblasts, the cells responsible for building and repairing the skin structure. If blood does not arrive, fibroblasts do not work, not because they are old or lazy, but because they are not receiving the nitric oxide signal that tells them to begin repair. This is why so many women after 50 begin to notice that their skin seems deflated, feels thinner, wrinkles more easily after sleep, no longer holds its shape when smiling or applying makeup. These are not simply signs of aging. They are signs of microcirculatory nutrient starvation. And when capillaries remain closed, it doesn't matter how much collagen, hyaluronic acid, or vitamin C you consume. Those nutrients simply pass through, rather than reaching the skin where they are needed. This problem becomes even more critical at night. Did you know that skin repair is most active while you sleep? Nighttime is when collagen is rebuilt and new cells are formed. But if circulation is weak, this process is almost entirely missed. That is why so many women sleep a full 7 or 8 hours, yet wake up with skin that looks worse than the day before. Not because they slept incorrectly, but because blood failed to deliver nutrients to the skin at the moment repair was supposed to happen. So the solution is not strong stimulation or forcing the skin into firmness through aggressive treatments. At this stage of life, skin does not need pressure. Skin needs open pathways. This is where we talk about what truly helps the body restore nitric oxide naturally. Beetroot is a powerful example. It is rich in natural dietary nitrates, which the body can convert into nitric oxide without relying on estrogen. This is especially important for postmenopausal women. When nitric oxide rises again, capillaries begin to open. And when they open, for the first time in years, oxygen, collagen, and hyaluronic acid can finally reach the dermis, the deep layer where skin structure is rebuilt. But producing nitric oxide is only part of the equation. We must also protect it. After menopause, the enzyme MMP1 becomes more active, breaking down collagen at a faster rate. Without antioxidants, nitric oxide itself is also destroyed more quickly. This is where pomegranate becomes essential. The polyphenols in pomegranate help preserve nitric oxide, extending its circulation benefits while simultaneously protecting existing collagen. Citrulline from watermelon adds another important layer. Unlike arginine supplements, which are often partially broken down in the stomach, citrulline is converted gradually in the bloodstream, leading to more stable and sustained nitric oxide production. This aligns perfectly with healthy skincare after 50, slow, steady, and deep. And when we talk about delivery pathways, we cannot ignore pine bark extract. I often describe it as the ingredient that repairs the highway system. It restores the endothelial lining of blood vessels, allowing blood to flow more smoothly. When the roads improve, everything moves more efficiently. Collagen is not only produced, it is delivered. Finally, leafy greens powder plays a foundational role. It does not create dramatic changes overnight, but it provides consistent vitamins, minerals, and natural nitrates that prevent circulation from declining again. This is the difference between temporary improvement and true biological rejuvenation. And when circulation is restored, something remarkable happens. Skin does not just look better, it becomes less sensitive, less reactive. It heals faster after sun, cold, or stress. These are signs that skin is not merely being treated, it is coming back to life. Improving skin after 50 is not a race against time. It is a process of nourishing the biological delivery system so the skin receives what it needs when it needs it. And once you understand that, you stop asking, "What is my skin missing?" You begin asking a far more powerful question. Can my body still deliver nourishment to my skin? That is where real change begins. Before we end today, I want to leave you with one gentle thought. Aging is not your skin giving up. It is often your body quietly asking for better support. If something you heard today made you pause, if you recognized your own skin, your own mornings in the mirror, then that awareness alone is already the beginning of change. Healing, real biological renewal, doesn't happen through force. It happens when we understand the body and work with it. If this video helped you see your skin differently, please tap the like button. It tells YouTube to share this message with others who may be feeling the same quiet frustration, and it helps this channel continue. I would truly love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell me, have you noticed these changes in your skin after 50? Or what has surprised you most about today's conversation? And if you want more calm, science-backed guidance on aging gracefully, circulation, skin health, and long-term vitality, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. Thank you for spending these moments with me. Take care of your body It's still listening, and it still knows how to heal.